All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to kind of talk about the channel and how things are going to start going, because I've kind of found myself in the situation where like I love what I'm doing. I love the channel. I love being able to just make whatever content I want and just put it out there, and like just let it go out there into the wild, whatever, you know. And I make some pretty weird content a lot of the time too, and I kind of feel like people are scratching their head, you know, like, what kind of channel is this? And I get that comment all the time, like people asking me what kind of content or what kind of channel is this? I watched this video, I subscribed, I thought this was the kind of channel it is, but then you put out this and that and this. And I just, and I feel like it confuses people a lot because of the type of content that I put out and how often I put it out. Now, I'm not saying that it still won't be that way for those of you that literally just like anything I put out. But I want to take a more focused approach in how I'm going to do things. So I just put out a video titled, you know, how I ended up with AMD after 14 months or something over NVIDIA. I just put that video out. Going forward with the PC stuff, I want to focus more on AMD and the AMD experience, like, you know, like doing some HDR videos. Now that I got the camera, the Sony camera, I want to start doing some more HDR videos. I put one out for God of War. This was my first one. I made some mistakes. Obviously, I didn't have the proper settings on my TV setup. So we'll get into that. I'll be learning, be doing better, because I feel like that's an area that a lot of people don't really talk about too much, is like HDR on PC. So with the AMD setup, we're going to go through, we're going to start doing some HDR videos on these games, start doing the best I can to like show you guys my settings and what I like for HDR. And then you can try my settings and see if that's something that you like. If you find that appealing to you, then cool. Hopefully that will help grow the channel in the AMD segment. I'm going to focus more on being a little bit more deliberate in my PC content, being more accurate, being more up to date, and understand, and like trying to help people understand what's going on with like the whole AMD thing. I want to be better. I want to be more accurate when it comes to the overall like PC content and stuff like that. That means I want to put a little bit more work into it. So that kind of work is probably going to be a little bit more spaced out when it comes to the PC stuff, because I'm really interested in it. I'm really focused. There's just a lot of things that are out there floating around that I want to talk about, that I want to, you know, do some better research and like come up with a better overall video presentation for that experience. So when it comes to the PC stuff, obviously the AMD thing is where my heart is right now. So we're going to be doing what we can to cover AMD and to get people excited about that. Sim racing is another major like pillar in my gaming life. Like, I love sim racing. I love to do it every weekend. I love, you know, playing the new games when they come out. So sim racing is going to take more of a prominent place right next to the whole PC hardware stuff, you know, like that kind of stuff. You can expect going forward weekly sim racing content, like literally weekly, maybe even multiple days a week in the sim racing thing. We're going to be talking hardware. We're going to be starting, you know, like from bottom stuff. We're going to be working our way up. The whole goal of the sim racing content is to help you find the best equipment possible in the right in the right bracket, like price bracket, for you to be able to get in and fully enjoy that experience. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. We're going to be doing a lot of like hardware, cockpit type stuff, different types of settings or setups so that you can get into sim racing a lot easier. I'm now an affiliate with Next Level Racing, so I will only be covering pretty much like their like sim racing equipment products and stuff, which have been 100% satisfactory. Everything that I've played with from Next Level Racing, absolutely incredible. It just some of like the best freaking engineers or ingenuity over at Next Level Racing. It's incredible. They just literally put out another wheel stand that is like the wheel stand 2.0 Lite edition that literally has a thing that comes up. You set your wheel setup on it. And like this one here, literally you pull up to the couch and you can just, oh gosh, that's so cool. I might actually just buy that one. I was thinking about asking them to send it to me. I might actually just buy that one and like review it on the channel. It's $149. And that way you guys can see that like clearly like I do value the whole Next Level Racing thing. I think it's incredible, my friends. So I'll be covering, obviously, I actually won a G923, a Logitech G923, so I'll be covering that when it comes in. We'll be covering that. We'll be putting that up against, like, you know, the Thrustmaster T248, obviously the Fanatec. I got some more stuff coming from Thrustmaster to review on the channel for you guys too, sometime in October. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see that new equipment and what that has to do. So I want to build more of a professional outlook when it comes to like the sim racing stuff. I want that to be a little bit more professional. I want that to be a lot more informative, a lot better. I want to take my time and put a lot more effort into making that content, because let's face it, once you buy a cockpit and a wheel setup, you don't want to be thinking, oh man, I should have got this or I should have got that. So I want to do my best as your best good favorite YouTuber that you love all my advice and take me seriously. I want to do my best to help you find the best product, because like, let's face it, guys, I'm in an interesting position to where I have the resources to like go buy this stuff if I needed to. But I also, you know, have built a relationship with Next Level Racing and Thrustmaster and some of these other companies for them to be able to trust me with their products. So, and guys, I watch freaking Boosted Media. I love Will, dude. I think he's an incredible freaking reviewer. And I always hear the people coming to him and being like, oh man, you're just a Fanatec shill and blah, blah, blah. You know what, guys? When it comes to Fanatec, Thrustmaster, Logitech, these are like three pillars in sim racing that they work. And they work right out of the box. And you usually get exactly what you pay for. You get 100% compatibility, stuff like that. So I want to work with those brands. There is another brand that I would consider covering. If enough people in the community wanted to know about MOZA, I would consider covering MOZA too. But I don't want to get so carried away that I'm just like covering like thousands of different ones. I want to stick with, you know, just a couple of brands. Getting that G923 is definitely a foot in the door for Logitech to be able to like start covering their products. I started with Thrustmaster and I've been satisfied with Thrustmaster. And then I bought the Fanatec, and now we're gonna have like the three main highest selling, you know, brands that have been on the market. So I want to try to be fair and cover those products for people, because there's people out there that just want Logitech and that's their price bracket and that's what they can afford. And then there's the Thrustmaster guys, and then there's, you know, Fanatec and stuff. And I want to cover these brands so I don't get super like spread apart and all of that stuff. But I will consider other ones. I'm not saying that I'll never cover anything else, but I will consider them. For me, dude, when it comes to, because I was covering Camus for so long, and they just kept putting out these wheels, like more and more and more and more, and they just kept sending them to me. So I finally told them, I was like, dude, I'm not interested in any more of that. Like, it's great, it's fine for people that have been sim racing for a long time. This is great products for those people, but I don't have time to sit and try to figure out how to make this equipment work every time a new sim racing game comes out. And I kind of feel like MOZA would be probably a little bit more refined, but still have those day one compatibility issues where it would still kind of put me in a position to where it's like, oh my gosh, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Do I got to set it up? Do I got to invert this? Do I got to invert that? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I want to be able, I feel like most of the people that are going to be watching my content for sim racing are going to be people that are either, you know, they're slightly already into sim racing, or maybe they're like thinking about it, or maybe I influenced them with a video or something, and they're like, oh man, that looks interesting, I want to try it. I don't want those people playing around with a freaking Camus or a MOZA or any of that stuff, trying to get those things figured out. So I want to be able to cover stuff that I know is going to work day one for them. I want them to find, I want to be able to get them some plug and play stuff that they're going to be able to use and they're going to be happy with, and they're going to be able to build skills so that later down the road, they can buy whatever they want and have the confidence needed to utilize that hardware. So that's my goal when it comes to the sim racing. I just want to help, you know, the community find some good stuff. And I trust Logitech, Thrustmaster, Fanatec. Like, I trust them to deliver a product that's gonna work. Like, I do trust that. Because I've tried like PXN, my friends, and, you know, obviously Camus. While they do work a lot of the time, there's a lot of stuff that they just don't do, and the compatibility is just very spotty. So, but I've got people in the community that swear up and down about their MOZA, so that's why I'm saying that I would consider purchasing one, because I've reached out to MOZA a couple times and they said no, they're not giving me anything, and I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Sounds good to me. So they do. You can buy them on Amazon, so I might pick one up and give it a shot. Like, if I do buy one, it'd be like the Xbox one, so that, you know, I could cover it for like the consoles, stuff like that. And then the third part of what I want to cover is the other stuff that I've been covering, you know, like the tech, the video games, all of that kind of stuff. Like, we'll cover that. But like the two main pillars of the channel going forward, guys, is going to be like the PC stuff and the sim racing stuff. And then the other stuff might not be as frequent, or it might still continue to be frequent. But the main pillars of like why you would watch Frogboy X1 Gaming are going to be like for sim racing, for PC stuff, and then obviously like sim racing games and like open world games, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's still going to be confusing, but hopefully just the quality of the content will get better to where more people are watching the content, because I've noticed that my views, it's not like they're low or super low, but they could be much higher. So I want to start being able to focus more on like putting together like thumbnails and stuff like that. Maybe trying to figure out how to word like my gosh dang it, what are they called? My titles better, stuff like that. I got a lot of learning too, man. It's kind of tough being a YouTuber, man. There's a lot you got to learn. There's a lot of things, a lot of trends, a lot of stuff that you got to follow. If you just keep doing it like I'm doing it, just putting out whatever you want and naming it however you want and doing whatever you want, it's really an uphill battle, my friends. Like, it is such an uphill battle to like build a platform and to make content and to like try to keep things like consistent and like at least somewhat freaking coherent, where like people are like they know like sometimes I ask myself, like, what is my brand, you know? And that's the thing that I need to figure out. Like, I need to create a stronger brand around this channel. So thank you guys for being patient, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.